Welcome to episode 3, How to Become Superhuman. Meditation, the what and the why. Meditation is a tool used by all human beings, but not everyone puts it into practicality or an actual practice where you're consistently teaching yourself, which, if you're planning on becoming superhuman, is probably one of the most, if not the most, useful tools that you can have. Meditation is simply thinking, but rather than just thinking, you are observing your thoughts. You're observing your feelings, rather than reacting to them. And though it might be difficult at first, because there's lots of stimuli out there these days, a lot of information going around, meditation is a good moment for you to look internally and to recenter yourself and come back to that basic waveform, rather than having a lot of highs and a lot of lows and a lot of distorted vibration. Because though everything seems to happen externally to us, everything is actually being processed internally. And having the most profound impact on what happens externally solely depends upon what is happening internally. So if you're having thoughts or emotions that you tend to respond to or make a pattern of, that kind of gets you into situations that aren't serving you or your circle of influence, then meditation is a good practice for you in order to bring you back into a space where you can get yourself into a neutral position rather than a really high positive or maybe really low negative feeling where you're not exactly sure what's going to result. And though this practice might take a little while for you to be able to sit still for 5 or 10 minutes and observe internally, it's like any other skill and will improve with time. For me, I only started practicing just a few years ago, and back then it was extremely difficult for me. I didn't necessarily even have to set aside time to have to do it. I would just take 5 minutes out of my day when I felt an increase of anxiety or stress, and look internally, first starting with my breath, and then to the actual thoughts, and decided on whether or not I wanted to respond to those thoughts and feelings, whether or not there was a possible better choice to make. Why do we meditate? We meditate so that we can get to know who we really are. We meditate so that we can observe the comings and goings of our life, the weather of our internal minds, as one would like to describe it. There's a proper technique. You always hear about observing the breath and being one with everything, but there's a deeper feeling as to what that is. You can know that we're one, you can know about your breath, but unless you truly feel it and can come back to that point of neutrality, then it doesn't really mean a whole lot. When you practice looking internally, and perhaps you like a visualization, you can put your observation being the sky and your thoughts and feelings being cloud forms or weather patterns, and simply just visualize like that and realize that the weather is constantly moving, and though it is a part of you, it is not you. It's not attached to you, just like the clouds are not attached to the sky. You can also visualize perhaps you're an artist or a writer, and the blank parchment is you, the observer. And the marks that you put into it are your thoughts, feelings, actions, things of that source, things that you actually can decide how you put on there as long as you continue to practice this. And a lot of people don't like to do this because they're not good at it at first. But the truth is if you are alive watching this video today, you are participating in what I like to call a conscious gym or a conscious workout room. You're here to experience consciousness. And so in order to get better at it, you meditate. And you don't necessarily have to sit. You don't have to sit cross-legged like I am here amongst a garden and a Buddha or anything like that. You can walk. You can run. You can go to a gym. You can go for a hike or a picnic. Any place that is centering to you. Any place where you don't have to focus on the day-to-day activities that you have to do, whether it be your work or family or friendship drama, anything that puts you into a nice, neutral, calm space. And the better you get at it in a space like this where it's easy to meditate, the better you'll be able to do it when your time is limited. If you're experiencing a heightened amount of stress or anxiety at work, you'll be able to go back internally to yourself, find that space of comfort, and then come back out and make a more educated decision on what you want to do. And this can happen really rapidly. It happens so rapidly now that instead of having to, as you might if you want to be comforted, you might go for comfort food or a cigarette or a drink or a certain friend who listens to you or a book. All of those things are tools in a sense that help us remind our brains of a space of happiness or calm or sense of control or sense of relief. But all of those things can be the breath. The breath is the most easy tool to relate back to. Once you create that very positive neural association with the breath, you'll literally be able to take one breath and be able to be in a very awesome space, which you can have all the energy, calm, get all the energy you need in order to go and do whatever task it is that makes you superhuman, whether that be your job or your sport or whatever your talent is. There are many techniques to meditating, and I highly suggest that you look around the internet or the library or wherever you like to find information from for a couple different ones and find one that will be right for you. If there's one thing I do know about the universe is that you will be presented with exactly the right tool as long as you're open to it, just like you found this video today. And if you listen to that, you'll be led to another possibility, and once you start getting good at meditating, you start getting good at manifesting, whether it be skills or objects or friendship or food or whatever it is that you need. You'll really, truly get it. You'll get both what you want and what you need. So if you have any questions or any ponderings, these episodes will start branching off in a bunch of different directions as we've covered the main basics. And we'll start branching off from here. So if there is a question that you have or a concern or anything that you would like to focus on, then please send it my way and I'll get to it in time. Thank you, and namaste.